There we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in South Africa. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone tuning in from live across the globe. Welcome to an attempt at the sports show. Our numbers are skyrocketing. We officially hit 4.75 million for this episode. We started on time, ladies and gentlemen. It's history in the making with myself, Dalen Oliver, and Carl Lewis.
Uh, Dylan, I'm not ready to talk. I was only ready to talk at 8:15 because this punctual thing I'm not used to. So, for those viewers at home who are watching, can we just give a hand to Clyde? Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you. Thank you for your punctuality. This is a great start to the show.
It's a fantastic start, Carl. We couldn't have asked for anything better. The final week in June, Liverpool's on the brink of winning the Premier League title. The PSL could start soon. Chelsea fans still know that they're not going to do Liverpool a favor tonight. Either or, we are ready for some amazing football action over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think tonight is obviously a very football-heavy show because that's the only sport that's kind of live. We've been blessed with so much football every night. It's so weird. Like, I mean, I was watching like real trash reality TV 3 weeks ago, and now suddenly it's Atletico versus Barcelona. Then I'm watching Atalanta and Lazio.
Yes.
It's like a treat.
You mentioned rubbish reality TV. Please shed light. I know it had something to do with Desperate Housewives.
I hate it when people say Desperate Housewives. It's Real Housewives of New York, Atlanta, and Beverly Hills. And Potomac. Okay. That's a very good one as well. Underrated.
Where is Potomac?
Potomac is in Washington. It's like a rich area in Washington.
Oh my word! I feel like Kim Kardashian has brainwashed you somehow or the other. Like,
look! I have standards. Well, no disrespect to the Kardashian fans, but I have a certain set of reality shows. Love Island, I have time for. But I'm not really a Keeping Up with the Kardashians fan. That's not really my thing. I love those. I like other stuff where there's love at stake, perhaps.
I like that. You're a man chasing something with a heart attached to it. And on the Desperate Housewives thing, the reason I said that is Eva Longoria was in Desperate Housewives. I remember that was like 10 years ago, maybe.
No, it was way more than 10 years ago, Dylan.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, before we get into tonight's magical episode packed with football, each week I wear a different shirt, and you never tell me how nice my shirt looks. So can you tell me how nice my shirt looks this week?
Your shirt looks so good. I wish the viewers could see our preamble before the show. Dylan is constantly looking for affirmation, but we really do love him. He's a good guy.
And your bookshelf looks amazing. I love the history behind your bookshelf. I don't think you've shared it yet. Can you give us some insight?
Oh, well, basically I have quite a decent sports library, and it's my dream to have this like big sports library. And then my mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, said like, why aren't you using your books to kind of give that look and feel? So I thought, why not build a little set? So this is what I've got, and I've got the Buddha here, which looks quite cool.
Okay, lekker. That's magical. Carl Lewis's library. If you have any sports books or recommendations, please jump into the comment section. I was watching Interception, and then my words came out, my Cape Flats and everything. So jump into the comment section and let us know your thoughts on lekker sports books. Also, we're going to pop a poll up. The poll question is, will Liverpool lift the title tonight? Basically, will Chelsea do them a favor against City? Any other comments throughout the show at an attempt at the sports show, please jump in. Format-wise, we are a bit different, but very similar this week, Carl?
Well, as you know, if you've been watching before, we pick 5 to 6 topics. We have a 3-minute timer on those topics. But we decided, look, if we do speak a little bit longer than those 3 minutes, then yes, we'll go a bit over, but we'll try and keep it as packaged and tight as possible.
And if just a heads up, if you see me on my phone over here, if you see me on my laptop, it's because we operate with the highest technology with 4.75 million viewers. So I have to check the comments over here. And over here, in case the timer don't work, I have to time it over here.
What's our first topic, Dylan?
Yeah, let's get stuck into it, Carl. I think this is very close to home for both of us because, like I say, we cricketers at heart, and cricket South Africa has been in such an interesting state over the past couple They need to get their house in order. I mean, first up, they still need to provide more clarity about the future of suspended chief exec Tabang Morue. Then former Protea Clive Eckstein fired as the cricket body's head of sales and sponsor relations. He's taking them to the CCMA to contest the dismissal. And then the most recent one, which caught, I think, so many of us off guard, where the Solidarity Cup postponed. And then thereafter, news coming out that Mark Boucher could be a possible shareholder, but it was a fraudulent document saying that he's a shareholder in 3TC, the organization behind everything. Your thoughts and what's happening, but I'm so emotional.
Yeah, it's. I think this past week has been a nice microcosm as to what is actually going on at CSA. There's such a disconnect. Things aren't functioning properly. Last week we were talking excitedly about the Solidarity Cup, this 3TC tournament and this new format, only for it to be postponed a few days later. And I think CSA and Graham Smith obviously jumped the gun there. And, Smith is a new green administrator, and I think you'll eventually do very well for South African cricket. But I think there was a bit of naivety there. I mean, they should have got the government approval. They should have gone through the right channels. So it's very disappointing that they pushed this new event on us only for it to be taken away. And yeah, there just seems something is just not right at CSA. Well, not something. There's a lot wrong, and it's at obviously boardroom level that there's so many problems, and it's filtering down. And there's nothing really positive to cling on to with regards to South African cricket as we speak. What do you say?
Yeah. No, yeah, very, very scary for me. The most worrying thing is that we've had a COVID period to kind of introspect and handle all that admin, not just the cricket body, but everyone in general. I think we don't have an excuse to do admin after COVID like we have all the time now. So
Yeah.
we're already not sure of the future of cricket going forward. So the mere fact that we're still getting our house in order in the boardroom per se is worrying for me as a cricket fan, because we can't expect to appoint a new test captain. We can't expect to allow guys to go to a T20 World Cup in a good mental space, because that's everything, being in a good mental space, knowing that back home the house is in order. It's like going out and leaving the stove on. You're going to come back and there's going to be flames. You just wonder when and how it's going to happen.
And just on that, I know we talked this 3 minutes up, but I think we can give another 3 minutes to cricket. Talking about having the players in the right frame of mind, I think CSA hasn't been functioning well for some time. We could possibly say from the back end of Haroon Logat's time as CEO of South African cricket, we were spending a lot of money on the global T20, and then that got cancelled. So for a while, Cricket South Africa has not been strong. It seems a far cry away, where CSA had 700 million rand in cash reserves, and now we're projecting losses of 650 million. So there's a big disparity between those two organizations. It's a very differently run thing. And just if I go back to the World Cup last year, how CSA handled that whole thing. We were one of the only major nations that still had players playing in the IPL, where they should have been coming home and focusing on the World Cup. It's little details like that that make the biggest difference. And you could see from how we performed at that World Cup how flat we were. So I don't ever want to hear that boardroom stuff doesn't filter down to the playing field, because it does. And then with regards to the disconnect between the board and Graham Smith, about 3 weeks ago, Graham Smith said in a press conference he backs Saurav Ganguly, the former Indian captain, to be the ICC chairman. Yes. Only for Cricket South Africa to say we don't hold those views in a press release. So, I mean, your director of cricket is saying one thing, and then a few hours later, that same evening, you say the body releases a statement distancing themselves from it. It's like there's such a disconnect, and it's not healthy there at CSA.
Yeah, it's like being at a dinner party with your partner and then saying, "Oh, we're madly in love," and she looks at you and goes, "According to who? Please elaborate." And then you just go, "Well, I'm not sure." You know what I mean? So all in all, I think the cry for all of us as cricket lovers and cricket fans is just for the house and the foundation to become strong again, become the powerhouse that it was, because that's going to filter into on-field performances and allow for confidence in our game and in the powers that be to come back again is what we need.
Yeah, look, we had a lot of retirements over the last year, and I think the players are also getting a bit hurtful of boardroom antics. So I think it's an opportune time for us to to have a rebirth of CSA, to go in a new direction, and focus on South Africa's never going to stop producing quality cricketers, and we'll always have this pool to select from. We just need to nurture them and look forward. What's the next topic?
Yeah, next topic. Nicely done. We did that in 6 minutes on the dot. Call Lewis. I just want to say we are like Pinky and the Brain, brah. Our chemistry is on point. you are Brain giving all the facts. I'm Pinky going, yeah. Tell me more.
Lies.
So listen, Lewis, brah. I've never been this excited rather for Premier League football, and I'm a United fan. I say that with a lot of internal issues, but I am so happy because I'm not one of those crazy United fans. I'm so happy for Liverpool. I'm so happy because they deserve all the success, even though Sunday's derby was as boring as listening to an Arsenal fan telling you how and why they're Arsenal fan. No one cares why you're Arsenal fan. Then last night, 4-0, coming in and clapping all the crystals off that Palace.
Yeah, and nice. I see what you did there.
See,
now, and you know, it was after that dud of a draw against Everton, which you spoke about last night. You know, and all the major hits was there. A Trent Alexander free kick, a Mo Salah getting on the score sheet, Sadio Mane. So it was really like a coming home party of like, yes, guys, we are the champions. But just on that, you said you were happy about them winning the league, and yes, I've said this before on the show, but Liverpool it's a perfect mix of coach, players, administrators, and fans. The chemistry is just right, and it's just this perfect moment that's happening at Liverpool. You know, winning the Champions League last season, winning the Premier League. It's a beautiful time in the club. It's being run properly. Like this example of Timo Werner, he was supposed to come to Liverpool, but Liverpool, they have such strict salary caps, rather, that they weren't willing to pay the amount that he was looking for, and that just shows like they're not going to be bullied. They're going to run the club in the parameters which they want to, and they're not going to be told what to do by agents. I love that about Liverpool.
Are you indirectly saying they're not like City, who just throw the checkbook at everything to build a supposed dream team over X amount of years?
No, you see, the thing about City, they spend their money very wisely. Yes, they are flush, and yes, they spent a lot of money, but they have, they spend their money in the right way. You really get duds coming from them. And outside of the actual transfers, the Dubai money has been well invested in the training ground facilities. It's like out of this world. Like City's facilities and academy is like next level. And people don't realize, they just think they have a checkbook and they're spending willy-nilly, but there's real thought to it.
There's actually a really cool video on YouTube. Search it, Kevin Hart at Manchester City. And he's at one of their training facilities, busy doing like a penalty shootout or free kick shootout with a few of their players. It's really cool. Just some entertainment. You know, we're throwing comedy into sport. Why not?
Quarantine content.
So here's the deal. We've got a lot of Liverpool fans that's watching. Rebecca, Louise, Warboys, Julian Olsen as well. Rebecca asks if we're going to sing the Liverpool "You'll Never Walk Alone" song, even if City lose or draw tonight. So we'll wait for that next week, Carl. I don't know.
What do you think is going to happen tonight, by the way?
I would honestly, I don't want Liverpool to win the title in this fashion, personally. It would be nice if they can go to the defending champs and take it away from them and say thank you. It's real, but this is ours. I also think that celebrations would be more intact if they did it in a match situation and not based on another result. Given the way they played this year, as well. And this season particularly, it'll be what the players need. Celebrating
Yeah.
with each other post 90 minutes. This is our season, and here's why.
I know we've gone into the next 3 minutes, but just actually, Klopp said it this weekend or earlier a few days ago. Like, how can we be 20 points ahead of this Manchester City side? And it's true. Like, this City side is laden with talent. One of the best coaches in the world. Someone who will go down as a legend in Pep. And the fact that they are 20 points ahead of this club, it's just insane to fathom. Considering that, City were champions last season in record points. It's just a special year that Liverpool are having. But can we touch on, before the 3 minutes end, on Man United? I just want to speak about Man United. Last night, they put their 11 they put out on the field. I loved that. Rashford on the left, Martial through the middle, Mason Greenwood on the right, who is such a talent. He has 2 feet, and it looks like during lockdown or quarantine, the man's been doing some physical work. He's looking, his body has matured. And also the fact that we got to see Pogba and Fernandes. Yes, it was Sheffield United, and they're looking super flat as a club. But that 11 that they put out last night is really something to get fans excited. Even me as a neutral, I was like, wow, I like this 11. So I think there is a sense of optimism and hope around United. Yeah. I mean, you're a fan. What do you say?
Do you see them? They're 2 points behind Chelsea. They're top 4 Champions League. Very crucial. I see we got 20 seconds left. We're going to go into the next 3 minutes just because it's a Premier League. Because
we still want to find out through the next 3 minutes. By the way, this is our second.
It's extra time, Carl. This is football. Okay.
Right? Let's full time. And United deserve our time. So let's go another 3 minutes on Prem.
Okay. So I would love them to close the gap even more and get that top 4 Champions League spot. And the way they played last night, like you said, they look like they're a functioning unit again. It's like they used COVID to press a restart, and Ole had some space to breathe and had a fresh start and could go to the drawing board and say, gents, let's wear our hearts on our sleeve here, man.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that continue.
And I think the addition of Fernandes Bruno Fernandes has breathed new life into United. He's become a focal point. He's something to be excited about in what has been a very average season, if we're very honest. They should be challenging Chelsea for that top 4 spot. They should be challenging for top 4, considering the squad that they have. So I think the Bruno Fernandes signing has just been a wonderful addition to the club and something for the fans to cling on to and hold on to. And I am really excited about what potentially could happen with this United team. Let's see what they're going to do in the transfer window. I think United will always be flush with cash. They're one of the richest clubs in the world. So and they might not be hamstrung by the COVID-19. They might be able to spend some money here and there. So I'm excited about what could happen with United. Genuinely, I am. But quickly on the top 4 race, Wolves, it would also be exciting if they push Chelsea for that top 4 spot as well. They're a very nice team.
And underdog is always a good thing. We need that. Especially in the top flight. Listen, as we wrap up the Premier League, you didn't say, when do you want Liverpool to win the title? You're backing. Can Chelsea play well for once when the other teams need them to? Can the flippant Blues not be, oh my word, a disappointment? Can they not show form like Arsenal? Can Frank men step up to the plate, Carl Lewis?
Oof, I don't know. I don't think they're going to get much. I think Man City will win tonight. I honestly do. Look, I like Chelsea and what they're all about, but I just think, especially with COVID-19, it's really exposed the good teams and the bad teams. It's really it's the gap between the technical quality of sides is very plain to see, especially with players not as conditioned as they usually are. So I think City should take this. I would go for either 2-1 or 3-1.
Okay, nice. I think that's a good space to leave the Premier League as we wrap it up. You happy?
Yes, very happy.
Good stuff. Let's move to I'm starting to laugh. Something that's very close to your heart, the Serie A. All I know is that Juventus is top of the table. I'm not being a troll. I'm not being a hater. The Serie A, it's never caught my attention, and I've never been interested. And it's like me getting a real putter for golf instead of using the rusty putter that I got at Musenberg putt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the way I feel
you
about the series.
you are so wrong, Dalen.
Sell
You
it to
are
me.
so wrong. So yesterday was a case in point. I think I tweeted, I said, Lazio and Atalanta is the best game on TV tonight. And it was actually second because the game before that between Inter and Sassuolo was the best.
Yes.
Okay, besides Juventus, I think they'll win the league, no doubt, especially after Lazio lost last night. But I just want to take you back to last night, and it was a perfect example of why Serie A this season in particular is a blessing to soccer and football fans out there. So the Lazio and Atalanta game. So Atalanta are the highest scoring team in Serie A, 74 goals in 77 goals in 27 games.
Facts, Carl Lewis. Facts, Carl Lewis.
And Lazio are 15 goals behind them, and they're the second highest scorers. So it was the two highest scorers in Serie A, and the game ended 3-2 in Atalanta's favor. Now, Atalanta have scored 3 goals. They average 3 goals every game, or close to 3 goals per game in Serie A. That is mental, like mental. They are just scoring goals for fun. And last night, it was such a lekker game to watch as a neutral, because Lazio are just as attacking and also good to watch. And then the game before that, Inter Sassuolo ended 3-3. So Inter's title challenge is all but gone, as is Lazio's. But the game itself, another beautiful watch for the neutral out there. People, if you are not watching Serie A, you are missing out. Don't watch tomorrow's game between Juventus and Lecce. But last night, because Juventus are a bit boring under Sarri, they haven't really found their groove. But they're going to be champions because they have the best squad. But on last night's evidence alone, it's honestly a league we should be taking more note of. If you aren't, if you love football, you'll love the Serie A specifically this year for the goals.
Okay, nice. I'm there for it. You slowly but surely convincing me. And if my pay TV subscription doesn't get cut off because of bad weather, then I will watch.
So are you going to watch? So my challenge to you would be to watch Atalanta play. Choose a game. They are the probably the most exciting team in Europe right now, I would say.
I can't watch Atalanta. Traveling bans. Atlantis is gone. There's no field call. Like nothing's available. I'm teasing. Like a boring local jokes here, man. Okay, so here's the deal. Before we go into the La Liga, I just want to look at a couple of comments here, Lewis. Odette Addison, she's saying when they walk onto the field, they're hungry. And that's why this year they went balls to the wall, focus and execute. She's talking about Liverpool. Shout out to you, Odette, also for always supporting comedy. Julian, Carl, also. Yeah,
I agree with Odette. This Liverpool team's mentality is something I really respect. The reason why I say this, they lost a Europa League final. They lost a Champions League final. The next season, they win the Champions League after losing the final. To come back like that is incredible. And to lose the title like they did last year against City, when they played so well, but lost by 2 points? And to come and win the league. And the mentality of this specific team is sensational. Respect.
Yeah, we're all on the same page there. Then Julian Carl Olsen, very close friend of mine, childhood friend, great cricketer, didn't run much, only smashed 4s and 6s. Football-wise, one of Ashford's great goalies at Cape District. Twinkle Toes is what we used to call him, right? So Jules says, very good point, but it would be better if they form us, talking about Liverpool, a guard of honor. I think that would be magic as well.
I think actually Liverpool fans would accept that. Winning the title at City with a guard of honor. That sounds good.
Okay, nice. And then Rebecca Louise Warboys. I think Rebecca's just trying to convert us to Liverpool supporters, Carl. She first wants us to sing You'll Never Walk Alone. If they win the title, I'll sing it gladly. I'll cup a beat on the desk just for the gears. So she says, I have some Liverpool shirts for both of you to wear next week. How do you feel?
I'm always neutral, so I don't think I'll do that. I'll respect
Okay.
them.
Yes.
I'll respect them, but I won't
Okay.
wear the shirt. I think that's a bit too far. Maybe you should, as a United fan.
I don't. Oh no! I think my skin will burn if I put on a Liverpool shirt as a United fan. I'll just hear. Listen, let's move to the La Liga. Keep those comments coming. We want to interact as much as possible. If you're a Liverpool fan, just pop your name in the comment section. We want to give you a shout out. We're really happy for you guys. We can't wait for the next 30 years of boasting. So now I have to throw some shade, guys. We move to the La Liga. I am excited about Spanish football because for the first time in a while, we have this cat and mouse race between Real Madrid and Barcelona for the league title. 7 games remaining, both teams on 68 points. Madrid back to the top of the table last night after beating Mallorca. And what I love, what I initially was confused about it, is the head-to-head record that sends you above the opposition.
Yes. So Barca technically have a better goal difference, but unlike the Prem La Liga, if 2 points, if two teams are level on points, they work on the head-to-head. And remember, early in the season there was a 0-0 draw, and in the last Clásico, I think Real Madrid won 2-0. So they lead in the head-to-head standings, and that's why I think they equal on 68 points. 68 points. And that's why they're on top of the log. And just on the race itself, it seems that Real Madrid have the easier running. I think they're playing Getafe, Villarreal, whereas Barcelona still have to play Celta Vigo and Atletico Madrid. So it seems that Real Madrid would be the front runners for the league currently. And it's like I said this 2 weeks ago. It's weird how both Real Madrid and Barcelona are far from vintage, Dylan, but they are in that it's creating probably the best La Liga race we've had in years. Even though these teams aren't at their best. So yeah, it's good to see. And the football hasn't been as entertaining as you'd expect from La Liga, but the race is really keeping me glued. And I did watch the second half of last night's game, and I tell you, Vinicius Junior, the youngster playing goals, he scored last night. He is playing some serious football. I saw this man tracking back almost 70 meters in the 80th minute. I was like, okay, this kid, I like what he's all about. Can I put in my charger to my laptop, Dylan? Quickly.
You can put your charger into the laptop, Carl Lewis. For those of you that don't know, Carl Lewis is one of those people. I say one of those people who, even though we are at home and have all the time to charge our appliances, comes to the show with flat appliances. You're the bride at the party asking now, do you have a 2-prong plug? I got a cable. Do you have a 2-prong plug? I have a cable. Listen here, you spoke about Junior and the amazing talent he is, right? We've got 1 minute left in La Liga, but we're going to go into overtime, extra time, some injury time in the next 3 minutes. We've got Luke Romero, if I'm not mistaken. 15-year-old, came on for Mallorca, debuted, the youngest player ever in La Liga history. What? 15?
And if he's a small little fellow, as you'd expect from a 15-year-old, with a horrible haircut, but he has a very interesting running style. He's left-footed, and he will play for Argentina. So expect a lot of Messi comparisons. But remember this: he was born in Mexico, and he was born in Mexico, but he has decided to play his football for his age group football for Argentina. So I think we should. The commentator mentioned that last night. So I think we can stop with the Messi comparisons because that won't do him any good. But the little that I saw of him, he looks a player. Obviously, I mean, you're 15, but he's very energetic. I like his running style. Very interesting running style. Hopefully, he changes his haircut though.
Yes. I saw his haircut as well. Look, we're going to blame puberty. It's fine. He's allowed to make some bad decisions. We all saw what Ronaldo looked like before money. So
that's true.
That's true. Listen, what were you doing at 15 though? Like, this brother's playing top division football in Spain. Where were you?
Struggling with grade 9 and trying to choose subjects for my 6 subjects for grade 10.
Yes. I got life orientation. I got English and Afrikaans. What else do I still need here after to make sure that I pass. Listen, Lewis, I'm going to jump into a few comments back and forth in between
Yeah,
topics. Are you to that?
I'm happy with that.
Razin Ali, we love Razin. He's a former. Is he a former cricketer? I know he's Montrose chairman, but former player as well. If I'm not mistaken, he just
Yeah.
hashtagged "Will never walk alone." So shout out to Razin. He's been tuning in for quite a while. I think he's going to jump in as well, Louis.
No, I think he's a
Um,
Borussia Dortmund fan because they also sing you. So you don't know because they also sing "You Never Walk Alone." So I'm not sure if he's a Liverpool fan or not.
Nice, nice. And then Antonio Gambino. How's this? So if I speak correctly, I know Antonio is an Ocean View boy. He's now in Joburg. I think he's an actuarial scientist or science major. I don't know what the correct jargon is, but I know he's in corporate and very smart. He says it's been 11,016 days now since Liverpool clinched the title against QPR, 2-1 win, 28 April 1990. I believe tonight we will clinch it. The numbers, man.
Wow, that you got the numbers there. Jeez. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if they clinch it tonight, I think the celebration is still going to be wild. I think the relief that this not relief, yes, relief and joy this brings to Liverpool fans cannot be underestimated. It's going to be a very annoying time for United fans. The banter on social media is going to be wild for the next few seasons.
Yeah, no, it's going to be intense. And just as you said, it's going to be an annoying time for United fans. One of United's diehard support is the comedian, good friend of mine, love him to bits. Dylan Oliphant just joined. So shout out to Dylan. Dylan,
He's a huge United fan, eh?
yeah, we hopefully get him on the show sometime to come have some
Yeah,
banter
he's
with.
huge. He's a huge United fan.
But listen, as we move from Dylan, and I move to one of our chummies, Romano Ramu. He says Carl was murdering runs for sacks at the age of 15.
I didn't want to say it.
What up, boss? Carl Lewis, your legend. Listen,
Thank you,
let's move
Romano.
to. We love you, Romano. Stay safe and healthy, bruh. Such a good cricketer. The man could
Yeah.
hit a long ball.
Top
Brilliant.
cricket. Great fielder as well.
Yeah, top guy too. Thanks for supporting comedy, Romano. Listen, let's move to the local front now, football wise. So PSL again, SAFA and PSL going head to head because initially SAFA said level 1 will resume action. Then the government coming out yesterday, Department of Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Natim Tet was saying, listen, we're giving the PSL the green light to resume training and matches. They haven't confirmed a date yet. This is good news, but on the rugby front, we had the same issue and the same questions, but with rugby, the government said, look, you have to get a few more things in order to make sure you can start playing. A bit of a biased approach here, Mr. Lewis.
For me, if I look at that, there's two words that come to mind, and that's Irvin Khoza. His influence cannot be underestimated. You know, Irvin Khoza is the chairman of the PSL, and he's been pushing for PSL to get started, putting government under pressure because he knows that sponsorship money, that broadcast money, clubs need to stay afloat. But he has so much influence and obviously connections in government that I feel that the PSL, that's why you get the PSL being approved and not rugby. He has so much influence, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The reason I say it's not a bad thing, the PSL would not be a 1 billion rand entity if it wasn't for Irvin Khoza. He's the one that holds this whole thing together. He gets the sponsorships. It's his influence that attracts the sponsorships. And in the same breath, I worry for South African football, especially for the league, when Irvin Khoza is not there anymore. You know, who is going to take over and fill this big man's shoes? It's going to be very interesting. But to answer your question, I think he is the reason why maybe PSL is approved before SA Rugby.
Okay, that's fair. Again, relationships. The godfather who oversees football in South Africa.
The Iron Duke.
The Iron Duke. There we go. Now, nothing's been confirmed yet, but the statement was suggesting that they're going to find a central venue and then wrap up the season within a couple of weeks to make things easier and more safe. Not a bad idea, but again, this was the debate in the Premier League. Home venues, away venues. Do we want a neutral space for South Africa? It's something that's viable.
I think I think the neutral venues has to become a factor now because we are so late in restarting this league. Other leagues they have started now. We under pressure, so I understand the need to have a central location where teams just are circulating all the time. There's multiple matches on match day. I genuinely get it, and I really don't mind it. I think we just need to end the season. The season cannot end in court or in the boardroom. It has to be decided on the field. The problems the French Football Association is the legal action that they've had taken on. Don't cancel your league. Play it out on the field. I know it's a pandemic and we need to be very cautious. But it needs to be. It can't be null and void. It needs to be played out on the field. Sorry.
Because they want to finish it by July. That's when they want to wrap things up.
That's a massive undertaking. I mean, the turnaround time, because I don't think clubs have been training as groups, obviously. So I worry about our players' conditioning, and also some squads don't have the players. Some of the smaller teams, they don't have the players to deal with a quick turnaround time, playing every 3 days. So I'm worried about the injuries. It's a very precarious position that the PSL finds itself in.
Ladies and gentlemen, an attempt at a sports show where we use words such as precarious. I just want you to know, to our 4.5 million viewers, that Carl Lewis uses words such as precarious. I have not used one big word here. I need to throw in a big word. Yes, gratuity. I love that word. Okay, so that's where we are. And also, league-wise, I know Kaiser Chiefs has a title drought when it comes to the league title, but this is no way to win it without any action taking place.
Yeah, no, and Sundowns are only 4 points behind, and Sundowns, you can almost guarantee that they are going to bring their form come the end of the season. That's just their mentality. They have the squad. So we cannot just give a PSL title to any club because this is going down to the wire. I can assure you.
Yeah, definitely. And then listen, we mentioned SA Rugby in there and the government saying they obviously need to fine-tune a couple of the documents and their ways forward to get training and play back on the go, basically to meet all the protocols. Do you see us starting in September? Because that's what CEO of SA Rugby, Yuri Roo, was hoping for.
Well, it gives us, I mean, there's more than enough time to plan, considering we're still in June. And SA Rugby, I'm sure they'll get their ducks in a row. They're a relatively well-run organization. They'll be ready by September. As for the country, what situation we'll be in terms of COVID-19, I'm not sure. But I think by September, that's a realistic deadline. It's 2 months to get their houses in order. Because I'll be honest with you, Dalen, I watched the New Zealand Super Rugby, and I'm just like, I am dying to see some of our rugby players, especially with these new transfers that have happened, you know?
Bro, it's magical. Like, I'm not even a rugby player. I'm too scared. Like, I've never played rugby in my life. This is how scared I am, right? So one of my work colleagues in Brass, Morgan Newman, he's a former professional
rugby player. I played against him at school.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Listen, we beat him that day. Bishop Sachs, we beat him that day. And he got a yellow card, if I remember.
Listen, it breaks my heart to ever say that Sachs won a rugby match, but you beat Bishop, so it's all right. I'll give you that. Here's a a boring joke for you. I always tell it. I was at Wyoming Boys, and Sachs was our closest rivals. We always said, Sachs is going co-ed next year. They're letting boys in.
That's such a shocking joke.
That's bad. But listen, back to Morgan Newman. So with Morgan, one day I said, listen, brah, I'm not small. I think I'm fairly okay if it comes to a rugby tackle. Show me how you're going to tackle. And this man just got me in position to scrum. And then I said, nope, it's fine. This is violent. My body was not meant for this at all. So not being a rugby fan, I've even been sidestepping here at home, doing little passes, even though it's incorrect. So I'm with you on that. I really do miss it a lot, and hopefully it gets signed off. Listen, there's quite a couple of comments here, Carl. I just want to say, Shout out to all our viewers for tonight, going up to 4.75 million worldwide. Muhammad Wasim Mukadam saying Chelsea will win the league tonight for Pool. Finally, you guys here. Well done. That's a nice
That's
human
very
being.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
A,
And then
a sober-minded individual, an objective individual. Nice.
There we go. Carl Lewis, the court of law has spoken. Then Sean Campbell. This is funny. Sean Campbell says Dylan is looking for a paid channel sponsor. Carl, as my partner in crime, is this true?
Well, I mean, we're not going to say no. And I think Sean Campbell is my cousin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he is Mr. Baseball in Cape Town.
Then it's the right person. Yeah. Again, we love giving shout outs on the show. So a big shout out to Sean Campbell for the amazing work that he does for local, provincial, and national SA baseball. We want to thank you for flying the flag. And yeah, we all had fun days on the baseball field or when it was used as a football field at Turfel. I don't know if you did as well.
I used to play baseball. My family is a baseball people. And we actually used to play soccer there at Turfel.
Yes, I used to play some football there. But who was your baseball club? Are you Athlone A's guy?
Athlone A's, yeah. Athlone A's.
They're massive, eh? They're an institution.
Well, I mean, that man Sean is. You see the great facility they have. He's had a big part to play in that.
Shout out to Sean Campbell and all the other guys flying the flag. Athlone A's an institution along with so many other clubs. And we need this more in the community. So keep pushing it, guys. Just a couple of other comments before we wrap up. Shaheen Sam Hing. I know he's coming from the UAE. Dalen Oliver, you'll never walk alone. We also have a red top for you. Can people stop trying to give me Liverpool clothing, please?
There's a lot of Liverpool fans tonight, eh?
There's a lot of Liverpool fans. I'm someone going to break into song here, Carl.
The United fans are really in the woodwork. That humble pie that they're eating has kept them quiet.
Yeah. That's funny. It's a big humble pie that's been served. I can't get to it now. I was going to do a Woodward joke because the Woodwards own United. Is that correct?
No, the Ed Woodward runs United, but the Glazers own United.
There we go. You see, I'm not here for facts. I'm here to throw forward to possible facts.
And they own them because of a leverage buyout where they make the club take on their debt to buy the club. And that was the whole thing about the Glazers. But in fairness, they haven't been shy with money. I just don't think that they've gone about their business in the right way since Alex Ferguson left. But there has been money in the kitty. They spent a lot of money. So you can't really hate on the Glazers too much.
I hear you. That's very, very fair. Yasin Barnes, just as we wrap up, guys, I don't want the show to be about me. It must be about football, cricket, and rugby and other sports, please. Yasin says, where's Dylan in the world? Is he on holiday? Carl, tell him how much you love my shirt, please.
Nah, that shirt you're rocking that shirt. You do look like it's summer wherever you are. And I can hear the rain here in Cape Town, or the drizzle.
Yes, that's very funny. Listen here, I think we more or less wrapped up. That's my retreat. We more or less wrapped up with the show. A lot of people asking us to sing Liverpool's anthem. I will be a good sport and I will try to sing it once they lift the title.
Once they win the league, yeah.
Yeah,
we can print out the lyrics and I don't think you can make it into a yard number with beats.
No.
You just sing it. No beat. You just sing it.
Well, if you sing it, I'll just go. Can I do that?
And it is a beautiful song, though. Like before a game. I mean, I don't support Liverpool, but it is something I look forward to listening to before a game, especially on a European night on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Bro, I couldn't agree more. Plus, here's the mad thing: my dad is not a football fan at all. Right? He doesn't watch football. He loves his cricket and rugby, but he loves the Liverpool song. He just sings it randomly in the house. I just want to buy him a Liverpool tracksuit just to let him know the reason why he's singing it. It's from his era, but he's just like, oh, it's a great song. So well done. Well done. Listen, on a rather serious note, Carl, before we formally wrap up, we've had numerous lives that were lost because of COVID-19. And we just want to send our sincere condolences. And our deepest sympathy to VP under 18 Craven Week coaches family, Mr. Faisal Adam, who passed away. He was coaching 2018 and 2019. And they'll be having a live Zoom tribute on Friday, 26 June. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's Mr. Faisal Adam, who sadly lost his life to COVID-19, VP under 18 Craven Week coach in 2018 and 2019.
That's it, Dylan.
Yeah, so just a little moment of silence and respect over there. And then, Carl, I think that's how we formally wrap up our show. I don't see any more comments coming through. Anything from your side?
No, nice show. I'm looking in time pass to get some food, some snacks for the 9:15 game at Stamford Bridge. Perfect. I enjoyed tonight once again.
Lovely stuff. My side as well. I just want to go here. Lindsay Ronnie, aware Lindsay, he says that the Liverpool anthem, You'll Never Walk Alone, is a hymn. Maybe that's why my daddy keeps singing it.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's do some research into the song for next week. I think that will be something.
I think that's the least we could do, considering the amount of Liverpool fans tonight.
Yeah. So thanks for all the comments. Just to go to that poll, our tech producer Clyde, who made sure that we were here on time for the first time this entire season, episode 6. We're very proud of that. He wasn't looking for cigarettes. The question was, will Liverpool be crowned EPL champions tonight? What was the answer? What is the majority of the poll? Carl, you can take this once I give you the answer.
61% yes. And okay. Wow. Okay. So they actually think Chelsea can do something tonight. Okay. But at least there's some impetus to this match, There is something at stake, something to keep us engaged. So I'm actually quite excited.
Likewise, Carl Lewis, before we close off formally with our amazing little slogans of an attempt at the sports show, anything you want to say before we head into the week ahead of us and as we close off?
To the fans there, watch Atalanta's next game. I'm not sure when that is, but it will be well worth it. You'll enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend. Stay warm because I think it's going to be very rainy. And yeah, keep safe. Thank you for listening and watching.
And before we wrap up, Carl, again, sorry, I'm just going through these comments. Clinton Ravens, our former Western Province and St. Augustine's coach, the legend. We love Mr. Ravens, a.k.a. Kwasi. His response to will Chelsea disappoint or will they beat City? He just says no, they won't beat City.
But isn't he a City fan, if I remember correctly?
He's a City fan. So there's no elaboration, just no. That's it. No, not happening. Thank you, Mr. Ravens. Right, that's how we say goodbye from an attempt at the sports show. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, we clock about 3.5 million to 4.75 million viewers every single week. It's able to be streamed globally and locally. It's an essential service for those who miss live action during COVID-19. No masks or hand sanitizer is needed. Only data or Wi-Fi in the ears of a sports fan who misses games more than the smokers miss buying cigarettes legally. From myself, Dylan Oliver, thank you so much for tuning in. Over to you, Carl Lewis, as we say cheers.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Ciao.
See you next week. Away.